smoking tarantula. Yeah. They gave it to me. Is it? I'ma pull up so lit, I just might crash, dog. Let me take this Balenciaga mask off, then ask y'all. Who asked y'all? See, he told me to stomp my ass off, that's all. Bop, 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 bop. He was a good cat, my bad, dog. Don't put no K after that B, boy. Bad call, that's flag talk. Fuck around and knock your flag off. I had to, I wore a gap before a tattoo. I had to, as a matter of fact, I had to. No cap, I'm on the capsules, I done relapse, boo. But I've been on my beats since Cinderella lost the glass shoe. The cash blue, but I'm still seeing green. I'm in the bathroom and I'm peeing lean. My bitch a vacuum, I told her keep me clean, the scene serene. I'm a badonk in bikini fiend. I just need a queen that ain't scared to fuck a Stephen King. I used to live next door to Drake and Mama D and Lisa D on either street. How I go from bars on the screen door to the TV screen, don't ask me. But never change the channel, Gucci flannel, Gucci size, Gucci sandals, Gucci teddy bears and pandas. Not fake propaganda, about to blow out the candle. My little hoe out Atlanta, got a hoe out Atlanta with a hoe out Atlanta. She a hoe out Atlanta, we get it. That's just the same in each city. My bitch ain't better than P. Diddy's. And ever since the pandemic, they don't want that Drake out of Canada. I've been screaming free Drizzy. I know they trust my vision, but don't want me to see prison. Said I can't make no promises, either leave or come visit. But leave the keys to your heart next to your soul and your spirit. Some see graffiti as art, some could see hoes to be women. But I'm the greediest shark amongst an ocean of killers. I put you 6 feet deep, I'm being socially distant. Nina Ross on the hip, the 44 is my mistress. Extra shots, extra clips, ain't talking videos, no fix. So just come and see about it, bitch. Don't you?
Hey yo, I am the star in any room that I stand in. I am the standout, you just my stand-in. These bitches copy my homework, that's what they hand in. That's why I'm private like the airports I land in. Life is a beach house, don't let the sand in. I ball in any arena, go let the fans in. I should go cop a New Jersey, that's worth the Camden. These bitches time tick-tocking, better stick to dancing. I D&G the wallet, my money tall and brolic. Big ass backyards, just so Papa Big a frolic. One margarita pizza with Parmesan and garlic. These bitches thirsty, I can see why they alcoholics. Ain't gotta ever talk about it when you are about it. Just bought a new car, not to drive it, but to walk around it. Just call me Nikki, cop the blicky, the Minaj is silent. Brand new vanilla Maserati, I've been Haagen-Dazsing. He called me solid, even though I'm dripping water diet. Big booty sticking out, my Daisy Dukes will cause a riot. These bitches still my sons, who could ever deny it? My packs hit different, who could ever supply it? No one bitch could be my op, that shit offends me. It's corporate giants and machines that went against me. I watched bitches, man, they couldn't even rinse me. She said she hot, I said, well, bitch, come and convince me. Ain't no seeing green, but I'm seeing green. Even with them floor seats, they couldn't see the team. The K-I-N-G, the GOAT, plus me, the queen. I send shots, send them back, or flee the scene.
You know, one of the perils of making money is you can afford to be dramatic. Y'all some drama queens for real. It's all good though. You now tune into the biggest ever. YMCMB, Tunchi Lee, Young Angel, Young Lion, man. Y'all boys get on the track with Onika Mirage and y'all still dying, man. What's up? We in this bitch. This ain't gonna be the first time that I do numbers on 2 crutches. Seen more plaques than 2 brushes. Until I'm at the pearly white gates, I gotta move something, do something. All meetings happen in person, so they can't prove nothing. Known her 8 years and still fuck her like a new husband. Trying to run the country like Putin one day, but who's rushing? Who's bluffing? For real. Who you hugging? Who you wanna be loving? I play 48 minutes on a torn meniscus. Who's subbing? El Chico Luxury. Wanna see my niggas ball so bad I started up a league. Fuck with me, you niggas can't trouble me from the double tree. Step your sweets up. I get Oliver to set the beats up. 2021, I had to wet the streets up. Your girl was better in the morning like a slice of pizza. That's when I had to hit her with the nice to meet you. You niggas think you doing damage, you just hyping me up. Face who? I can see.
Chat 8:15, right? Told you I'll be here for 8:15. Always. I'm never late. Never late, always on time. 8:15. All right. This is God. All right, chat. Let's get the day going, man. So we got some news coming out today. I think we got some CPI today. So yeah, pretty big folder. I don't know how much of an effect it's gonna have today. Obviously, it changes based off of like conditions leading up to it, but it looks like you kind of have volume coming in already from like 8:10. So yeah, I would expect us to bring in more volume, and then as the as the session goes on, hopefully we can get some direction today, right? Because you've been kind of like stuck within these ranges for the last how long here? Let me just share this. You've been stuck within these ranges for like, I think, how long is this? Yeah, for the last day, right? But like overall, like from prior to that, you've been stuck within this range for some time. So still within the ranges here. And obviously you want to see some direction starting to form for quarter two. So again, Thursday started moving last week, and then Friday started picking up, and then hopefully we can get some just continuation of that movement, right? Yes, it was a little bit slow after the Sunday opening, but it looks like you decide to come up to break the highs of like 48.25, and then just kind of like make a way back down towards the bottom of the range, right? So this is very good. I think news just came out, popped 130 pips down. So numbers, I'm guessing, came out positive. Yeah, numbers came out positive there. So gold came down a little bit here, pulled back right afterwards. I wonder now if it could continue to rebreak the lows, can drive through, right? So you got a lot of levels here. You got zones like right here that you would approach, right? You can look at it from that perspective. You can say, okay, well, it looks like there's some type of support zone right here that you're rejecting off of, right? And then there's also, yeah, you can say this because this is also right here. Like you can put this as your invisible candle. These two candles combined are like your doji candles right here. This one and this one. So you block that out. Anything below, I think it might be a little lower, but right here should be clean traffic, because I don't think this is going to be too much of an issue then. 47.60. Like I think right here, like 47, or let me see this exact level. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be like 47.50. I think maybe 47.60 right below there could be good to continue driving down here if you treat this kind of as like an invisible candle. And then that would mean that you got some ranges to continue down towards like these areas down here, right? Towards like 47.40, right? As you break below there. I do like this idea here. The idea of like these lower highs being held. It's the same thing that happened over here, here on price, like over here and here, right? Just like off of that zone there. That's where you kind of bounced off of in the past. So if that's where you're holding and like bouncing off of in the past, then you can probably make your way down towards like 47.60, right? Towards the bottom of the range there. Overall, you're still within these ranges here, right? And you're just hoping that you can break below here so that you can get some like continuous moves. But yeah, news is like, it's a way to bring in volume, right? So obviously, like I don't think we're gonna enter anything like right off the bat here, unless it's what we wanted from like a price action standpoint. But looking at price, it looks like it's just came down for a bottom wick and then flip bullish, right? You still yet to have direction, but yeah, that's some good information, because at least now you also broke out of this range as well, right? This range also broke out, so that's also very good. But let's mark up our zones here, right? So there's a lot we could look at. We could have, yeah, we can leave this one down here. Maybe right around here. 47.66 could be the area. Yeah, like around there. And then we can also leave like this right here. Let's see. Maybe here. 48.28 zones. That could be within the range. So how much is this range here? This is now 600 pips of a range here. And this is kind of where you came down from during Asian, right? Asian kind of made its way down. Lower highs at like 7 to 96, and then this candle here opened up and just came straight down for a bottom wick. So I will be a bit cautious though on this flip of the candle, because like it could also continue up too, right? Like this could still be, like, you can look at this as like your higher low. Like this can still continue up to the top of the range here. I think it's gonna lack direction in this range for sure. So even like on this flip here, you can still flip, and after you flip, you can close the light candle, and you can still like come down the next candle, right, to continue back down and retest the lows there, and just play within the ranges. So it's a little early to say. Like, I think for buys, for me, maybe above like 48.28 might be a lot better, unless you get some type of like structure on the way up here. Like as the session goes on, like on a small time from here, like the 5, 30, 15, you might start to get like candles closing bullish, and then obviously closing bearish or bottom wicks, and then just like kind of making its way back up, right? Like once you get enough structure. So we that could change. It could be ahead of time, but this range is like a 600 range, so it's nothing crazy. I mean, compared to the last couple of weeks, it's definitely like in some type of slowdown area. But I'm guessing that just has a big part of it is because we're in this range here coming across, right? So yeah, I think I'll leave it as that, and then as the session goes on, we'll just get ideas. But I think off bat here, there's really nothing I could really see here. Buys are kind of far, and then continuation of sells won't be too bad. Maybe if you get some type of structure. So if you continue up here, and then you start to close back in the range, you can look for sells, or you know what, maybe even the wick entry sells might not be too bad here. If you get if the first move today is a continuous move up, and then wick entry sells for like a higher low you're expecting, because price got to make higher lows in order to continue up, right? For the buys that we mentioned, we want to see structure. So if we could get wick entry sells as you pop up for the first initial pops of the day, any higher lows that you are forming could be part of that wick entry sell to form that higher low. All right, so that won't be too bad. But obviously you gotta pop up first. I'm trying to see where we can get that wick entry idea. Maybe here within these areas, 48.15. So yeah, you do want to see these candles drive here if that's the case, right? But yeah, 48.14 won't be too bad for that. How much you gotta go? You gotta go 250, 240. So there's no guarantee in that, but if that does occur, and then there's no structure, very key, because for us to take the buys, you want to see the structure. So for us to take the sells at that area going up, you don't want to see structure. Otherwise, as you creep up towards the top of the range, you're kind of just like higher lows, right? And then if you are seeing like some structure forming here, it's like, okay, it looks like there's a very high chance that you're likely gonna be able to push through, because structure, right? More higher lows, more structure to go up, higher chance to stay bullish compared to higher chance to create a higher low, right? If you have higher lows going up, then that idea kind of takes over. All right, so yeah, very important how you come up to. That's just one of the ideas that we can throw out there. Wick entry sells. Other than that, directionally wise, positions might take a little longer today. Maybe 11. I mean, I hope not, but looking like 10, 30, 11 for like something direction. I'm not gonna lie to you. All right, you have a leg candle here in the 5, so we'll see. But a little better than yesterday so far. All right, I think you've had some movements at 8 today. Yesterday's okay. But yeah, that's gonna be the session. And that's what we'll be looking for. Yeah, 5 is a leg candle. I think that's how much of a wick fill is this? 130 pips. Let me just copy this over real quick. 48.28, 47.65. $48.13. All right, look. Good morning, everybody. These ads, bro. Y'all complain about everything. God damn. Intro too long. These ads. Do you know that you have access to a free live stream? Did you know this is a free live stream? Did you know this is a free live stream, man? Back in the day, there was no live streams. You know, back in the day, we didn't even have electricity, bro. We ain't even have portable chargers. Now we have like live streaming, and you still complaining. God damn. 47.97, 49.79 minor resistance. Yeah, there's something there for sure. I don't see why there wouldn't be something there. Looks like something's going across there for sure, yeah. Could be the area of respects. You expect I appreciate everything you do? Hey man, you gotta appreciate these ads too, man. When these ads play, you gotta watch them because I need that YouTube money. Can we glitch? Let's see, man. Can you get a pop below the ranges? Can we get a pop? This wick fill is like 92 pips, so it's pretty decent. What are those levels I'm marking out? I have like just support and resistance. That's it. So this is just like heavy support zones and then resistance zones on the way up. They're not like entries or anything at the moment. They're just like zones that like as you approach, you gotta be aware of. That's about it. I don't have the phone number, man. I'm not in contact with the new Fed yet. Fed chair pal. Wait, no, Fed chair Wash. The Fibble. Back in the day, I would have charged 5 shekels and go to teach you how to trade. Yo, back in the day, we couldn't even like execute positions. Imagine. Like, what was there before MT5 or MT1 or MetaTrader? There was probably like, you gotta call the broker and then probably ask to price in your orders, no? Hello, I would like to place a buy order on gold. You probably couldn't even scalp. Imagine us getting into a trade. It'd probably be fees and shit. Watching me live trade. All right. It will be banned. Push Jerome push. Let's see. Leg kind of body reaction. Could be something. Could be. We're live every day though, yes. Monday to Friday. 8:40, the new 8:15. Yep. You know, 6:30, I used to go live. I don't know how. You guys want me to go live back at 6:30? 6:30 is like, man, 6:30. 6:30 is mad early. Can you see 15-minute charts above 47.95 for long positions to target 48.28? On the 15, do I see 15-minute chart above 47.95 for longs? Target 28. 95 to 28. Do I see this? Yes, I think there's a possibility. It's always possible. Anything can happen. But question becomes like, how are we gonna get there? So I don't have a good I guess like a good amount of confirmations or confluences that lead to that idea yet. Like the only thing I can imagine is like flip. But that's like a generic price action. It's like that should drive up if it flips, right? Like ideally that candle flips bullish, you flip bullish and you drive, but then look, you only got 15 minutes left in the one. Are you gonna flip before the 1 hour close? All right, if it doesn't, it'll close bearish. Next candle comes up. There'll be no top wick within these candles. Next candle comes up, you can get a top wick and still flip bearish, right? That's still a possibility. You're still holding these ranges there. So I think the idea is possible. I don't know about from 95. I think it might be a little better if you like put 95 or I think it'll be better above 48.13. Like right now I have ideas above 48.13. If you can come up towards the 13, above 13 you got a range fill towards 28. You know? But I don't know what's gonna happen from here up right now. Like there's not much info because this bottom wick here is like barely a bottom wick. Like this bottom wick is still holding structure, so this can still be a lower high overall, like as this move has been coming down, and this can still rip down. You know what I mean? So yeah, you want to see this break and you want to see a hold, so I'm assuming above 13, maybe a little lower above 10, but you want to see something break and then hold and re-break to continue that. But yeah, it's like a little tougher to read right now, man. I have wick entry sells at 8:48.13 for now. That might be moved to 28 depending on how it comes up, but that could also be something too, right? So I used to stream comics. Yeah, 820. Comics is honestly like comics is like I would say like a hit or miss. Sometimes it's consistent, sometimes it moves, sometimes it doesn't. I just noticed that our moves come later. Like I really don't get ADM moves no more. Because I think majority of our moves, like our positions, are like at 9, 10. It's on 9, 10, 11, 9, 10, 9, 10. Like the last time we had trades at 5:36 a.m. Holy. The last time we had trade at 8 was maybe the last time we had a trade at 8. Holy. The last time we had a trade at 8 was September. God damn. September 29, 2025, 8:30. We had a trade at 8:30. You know how long ago that was? That was like 7 months ago. That was like more than half a year. That was mad long ago. So yeah, I don't know. There's like no point in me coming early. And 6:30 is just way too early. You come at 6:30, you got like you're there for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, like 5 hours. You can cut down to 4. It may be if cycles change, you can come earlier. If you guys are enjoying the stream, though, hit that like button. We at 28 likes here. We can get to 50 first goal. It's not bad. Like some lower highs here, starting to form too. See, yeah, that's a very nice 15 candle as well. I didn't see this 15 candle. You got like a nice bearish closure with the wick fill. You can probably look to come down and fill the wick. It's also the leg candle. Most importantly, the leg candle. So is this really a zone? This could be lower, right? Where could it be lower too? $47.59, 535, 359 is around there. So I mean, that's not bad. 5-9 zones. What else do you got today? Just core retail sales. Core retail sales 10. You got, oh yeah, Fed chairman starts speaking. 10 a.m. pending home sales, business inventories. And then next week is FOMC. President Trump speaks to at 8:30. I didn't see this. Phone interview conducted by CNBC. All right. All right. What else is there? Any other leg candles I'm missing here? Daily could be a leg candle. How come no one pointed that out? Daily, actually, on MT5 it looks more like it. On here, you can treat it like one. You got the body reaction, so yeah, this could continue down. This could be lower highs. And I think 29 is like basically the wick fill, so kind of lines up. 29. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Let's see. Maybe if it would be nice if you can just get a topic out the way. Like if we can somehow manage to come up towards like 47.95 and then hold, like, because then what will happen is you're gonna make like lower highs. So then you make lower highs, come back down and re-break the lows. Back here can be your continuation, right? Back below these ranges here, that can be your continuation. and then you can just look for continuations down before the leg candle fills, right? But you probably want to get in before the leg candle, because if you get a leg candle first, what's happening is you're going to be printing a little bit of structure. So you're basically getting a bottom wick back into the ranges, and if you were to get a top wick, you're going to get something like this, and sells then would have to be moved to like below 65, because then you just made another low here, right? If you make another low and then you flip, this kind of could signify, could mean like that these lows here are much stronger now, because that's the second time you came down and you didn't drive, right? If you were to come down again, even if you were to break it and you don't drive and you come back up, it's like this zone becomes much stronger. So there's a much higher chance to break this. But if you can come up first, so instead of down first, let's say you come up first from here, right? It doesn't even have to tap like 95, but if it can just get like a lower high, anything to match with like within these ranges here are pretty important. You can get something like that for a top wick that flips the 1 hour candle. You know, generic price action would be like, oh, 1 hour candle flips bullish, you drive up, you start shifting back into the range here, you got continuations below there, and that's your leg candle fill. That'll be very clean too. So that could also be another idea that we could wait for. This range here is not too bad. I think this range here is like 130 pips, so that's not too bad. 130 pips up, and then you want to see like 160 pips down, and then continuation below there for like 80 pip range, 90 pip range, and then maybe continuation. Yeah. What is this again? So maybe we can add something here. Right. Then earlier, I think the 1 hour flip there. So what time was that? That was at 8:10. 8:10 closed bearish, and then dropped. Yeah, so that was the first time it came down. So this will be the second time if you come back up again. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. If the 4 hour candle flips bullish, means did not break the previous support, could be possible to reach higher. If 4 hour candle flips bullish, means did not break previous support, could it possible flip to push higher. If the 4 flips bullish, yeah, I mean, you're re-breaking highs, right? Like, that's why I say like generic price action, because like generic price action, you're looking at it from like what price would usually do 8 times out of 10, like in terms of just like you're following literally the template of trading. Like you follow, like, let's say like you think about structure. When you think about structure, you're not thinking about auto complicated, like, oh, range drive and all of this liquidity, right? Like, oh, you need liquidity to come down, like just generic price action. Like if you look at, if you say the words market structure, you're thinking about this, right? Low lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Or you can also get higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, right? Just generic price action. So like 4 hour flips is part of generic price action, because 4 hour flips, what would you think would happen, right? 4 hour flips bullish, or that re-breaks the highs again on the 1, right? 1 hour flips, that's just like a 1 hour flip. 1 hour flips bullish, like, you know, we would assume that it's gonna drive up, right? But what if it doesn't? That's when we start looking for your positions, because then why didn't it, right? You got that, you got the idea of this out the way, right? Like if this were to flip bullish, what happens then is you look like this, right? It's like that should drive up. For some reason it doesn't drive up. What happens afterwards is it starts to shift back into the range, As it starts to shift back into the range, what happens then was you just had this that happened. You had the initial move down, you had the ranges here, right? And then you got bottom wick here earlier. So if the 1 hour were to flips, like you're breaking this again, right? 1 hour flips there. Let's say you don't drive though, start shifting back into the range. What is this move gonna be then? This is gonna be your fake out, right? So first break outside the range, that's your fake out. As you break back into it, you can look for the sells. Like you don't need to try to get it on the generic push. You can wait for the generic push to play out. Like the generic push doesn't always need to be like a position to take. It can just be like a wait out moment, and then wait for a much better like concise idea, you know? The Discord pay group. Yeah, we have the Discord pay group. We don't have the community group right now though. That should be opening up before the month ends. Discord pay group is go to admeast.com. Yeah, Discord should be open this month, chat. I mean that's another promise. That should be open up this month. Oh, there's a link. Nightbot just knew. What's up, hidden user? All right. 4 hour top wick here. Small top wick first. So let's see if that's going to be steeper, right? If it's steeper, look at your next resistance. Could be 94. That'll be good too. Hopefully no push down first. Hopefully. W bit me some. Bit me some. You're not gonna post a fit pic at the ice pyramids. Yeah, we went to go see it yesterday, but it was way too packed for any fit pics. It was way too packed. The ice pyramids. Post for I need new inspo. Alright, man. Will do. Will do. Will do. Will do. Will do. I got them loading up this week. No, I don't want to hear your jokes in the user. You scared me off of your jokes. Your jokes. Your jokes, I think are only like Twitch. I think only they can only work on Twitch, man. YouTube might ban you here. If you were to enter a long trade, like a year long trade, where are the points you think you enter? You live on Twitch? No, I'm not. But I'm saying like I don't think it's gonna work on YouTube, man. If you were to enter a long trade, where are the points you think you enter? I think right now, if I were to enter a year long trade, I'll enter like right now at this point, at this, like what would I do? I don't know. I'll probably try to enter longs and hold for years. I think I'll prefer, if I were to pick, I think I'll prefer longs over shorts for like yearly holds. For sure on gold. Go so slow, hope April. This has never happened in April in all times of trading. You think so? Downsview. You're gonna sue Drake? Damn, man, we're not getting Iceman because of Fucci now, bruh. God damn. Yeah, no, I saw the explosion. We're not getting Iceman, bro. You think it really moves slow though? I don't think so, man. I think we're like the most volatile it's ever been. I just think we're sitting in like some like a range right now for the last like since March, but movements wise, like you're still moving like 7,000 pips. Like that was more than last year. That was more than the year prior. You know, like I think this April, although it's not like too crazy. I mean, 3,000 pips is decent still. What was last April? Was it more last April? Last April might have been more, right? April. Yeah, last April was 5,000 pips. The year before 24 was, you know what it is too? We might be getting spoiled though. You gotta remember that. Conditions change. Slowdown periods, right? Picks up. What is this? This was 1800. So post 2024, it was pretty slow. Look, 2023 was in this range. This was 2023, 800 pips range. Yo, you move that in a day. Literally in a day. April, this right here is like 1100. 1.1. Last year was wide though. The explosion hit your window? Holy. That's crazy. Damn, you got a piece of Iceman furniture. Iceman souvenir now. Oh man. Oh, filling the wick here. All right. Let me just pull this back up. Looks like you are pushing. Wow, spreads are pretty tight too. That might be a glitch. Let's see. Unfortunately, we couldn't get that steep of a wick. I think it was maybe, man. Even if it wasn't 94, like 92 would have been nice too. Like another 80 pips before the push would have been nice. It's all good though. Next zone is 65 here, right? 65 like monitor zones, and then below 65 is 29, which is the daily leg handle, right? That might not be too bad. Pretty early today though. Not too bad. Like you got volume at 8, and then it's only 9:10, and you're already filling the wick. So this is like early. Maybe we were wrong earlier if I was saying 11. 11 looks like at that point might be a day. You see your amazing trade during Asian. Now let's take a look. Asian session, what'd you get? 11:26 p.m. I can't believe it's 5:26 a.m. I should be sleeping. Damn. Leg candle on the 30. Moves to B and trails 16 pips. Very nice. And Visa caught some too. Good morning, Visa. These are your positions, Visa. Wick entry buys after this 4-hour close, anticipate more liquidity for sales later for that possible daily leg candle. Very nice. Let's see, you're breaking the lows here. Can we get a pop? I'm gonna get my coffee real quick. All right. Got a rejection off of 5.9. We're 6.5 here. Let's see if it corrects it right away. Little small pullback here, right? So it could be seen as a small like lower high too. I wonder if we can get if it's not here, how much is this range here? This range is 250. Alright, so if it's a worst case, we can always get ideas within below like these areas down too, right? Because if price like continues to break the lows after like pulling back here, right, and just continues doing that, then you have some structure. The entire daily leg candle gets filled, right? Daily leg candle is right here, so then you'll be able to fill that candle all the way down. All right, man. Iceman done. You know what that looks like? I'm not gonna say. No worry, bro. Nice one, Benzo. Thank you, man. 'Benzo. Ten minutes for NYC open. So let's see what happens there. Yo, what happened to all the volume, man? Yeah, be a little more in depth with that question. I'm not sure exactly what you mean. Like what I think about rejection. You gotta be I need more context in what you're asking. Dun, 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 dun. Mm. Pierogies. What else would you be eating? Pierogies or or eggs with lemon, um, or drinking a dizik, or you do one of them for sure. One of them. Wash. Yeah, is it wash or is it wash? Wash testify. Wash testify. Wash. Hold on, I just took in his name says it starts with a W-A-R. W-A-R-S-H. Y'all didn't take that in? Yeah, never took that in. Thirty seconds left for. Oh wait, no, this is not a 5 closure. 5 minutes left for a 30 closure here. The R is silent, so it's wash. Wash. I see. Wash. What is he? He German or something? Or like, what is he? Don Julio? Let's see. Wait, he gotta be fucking American. Holy. But wait, what's his background though? What's his name? New York. So he is. Easiest play in the book, man. Easiest play in the book. I'm not gonna say who, what race. But wow, that is crazy. That is crazy. What are you eating? You're eating Polish themed dumplings. I'm happy for you, Penzo. I'm happy for you, bro. Really happy for you. No picks though? Alright. Chat, you're in this like miniature range here right here within like a much bigger range. But within this range is very important. We pay attention to two things now. Well, actually, you can probably extend this like this. You want to see it break above here, which it's doing right now. Or you want to see it break below, right? And this isn't for like taking a position wise. It's more so for volume wise, right? You've been stuck here for not too long. Hasn't been too bad. I think maybe only like 20 minutes, right? So now it's starting to break out. So could this be a continuation of volume? Because in this on the small time, it could be seen as liquidity, right? So hopefully you can pick up here right in time for NYC open in a minute. You got 1 minute until 9:30 NYC open, and then we'll find out whether you feel this wick coming down towards the bottom of the range or you make your way back up, right? Towards the top of the range again. All right. So could be something cooking. Hopefully. Just a little more waiting. And I'm sure we'll get some. Boy, you ain't paying nobody back, man. What you mean is there anyone who'd like to fund me 50 USD and I'll pay them back? So I'm gonna fund you 50 USD and then you're not gonna pay them back, bruh. When will you enter? I will enter when the price does what I wanted it to do. So we have a couple things today. Like we had wick entry ideas at 48.13. We had ideas for if we can tap 94, come back below 70, we can look for sells. We had ideas for continuation of this move down, but you would need to see some like structure start to form as you break the low. So any of those things, right? But we're like calling out the, I wouldn't say calling out, but like drawing out the plays, like the exact plays that we want to see prior. So then like we're not just like, it can't just be like any closure above the range, right? If I were to get, or below the range here, right? If you were to come straight down here and not create structure, I can't get it, right? So it's very key that if it were to come down as well, those things have to align exactly as mentioned, because those are our confluences, right? That's what's going to be very important. So yeah, a lot of times it's like within the session, as you get more information from these candles that print, we'll have new ideas that come as well, right? So today it looks like we have a lot of ideas, but none of them have printed yet. So we're just waiting for that to print, and once that prints, we'll be in. And yeah, that's what gives us 2 to 3 trades a week doing that for the last year now. What time you start your stream this morning? 8:15 sharp. We're there. Right at 8:15. Nice top wick here. Where'd you tap here? Is this 94, 92? No, I'm tripping. That's 80. Still pretty far. But it's about to re-break the 1 hour highs there, right? So let that break, let that flip. And then I'm assuming next up to break is 47.94. So yeah, if this breaks above 94, there's a much higher chance that you can get a drive up towards into the next minor zones before approaching 28. So we could, there's a couple ways to go about that then, because then you can also take wick entry sells, or you can also look to take continuations. Continuations for me will still require a bit of structure, so I want to see how this, if this were to come up, I want to see how it comes up. Either perform structure first or after, and then once you have that structure set, it should be set to go, and we can get in the buys. If that were to come up, right? We don't know. We have no clue. Rocket League? I'm ass at Rocket League, bro. What you even? Last time I played with Nectar and Richie. Where am I? Oh, the other channel. we get a pusher, man? Goddamn. Gold. Hello. What is this pop right here? This is a decent bottom wick. This is like 69 pips. Some decent candle. First 5 of 30. Wait, no. This was the first minute of the 5. The last 30 came up like this, so looks like something's about to happen. This is still like, I'll say a little early, but could also be close because it printed plenty of times already. But you can see like these lower highs are all being held. And you just made another one, right? So, I mean, if you come up again to re-break this, that's like the first time you're breaking structure. But if you decide to come back down to re-break the lows here, look at the lower highs that you have on the way down, right? So this decides to just re-break this, it's low at 5.8. All we really need after that is just another lower high and then a re-break. And then it's just repeating its same concept from, I think this was 8, right? Yeah. But I think it's very close to the previous high right now. But if you could clear this move out, which is like 150 pips down, to re-break that low, below there can be continuation for sells. And that's your daily leg candle. Oh, here we go, re-breaking the previous high. Is it gonna re-break 85 though? It's also breaking back into this range too, right? On a small time frame. Five le. You say you tripping? Yeah, this is a little bearish. If it was bearish, it would be one. Oh, you broke the highs. So broke the first high. So is it gonna fill the range up to 95 now? 94. Going once. Going twice. Oh, here we go. 3 tap 94. And then 94 is the 4-hour re-break. It was a 1-hour, 4-hour flip earlier, but they cannot close, right? So it's just the re-break of that high. So this is good. Yeah, we might actually get something before 11 today. It's looking good. Volume's there. You have more information that's printing right now. Like, you have lows already. You broke the lows, rejected. You're about to re-break the highs. So it's like both sides are like kind of almost set up for you to get something a bit more directional today. What was this right here? This was 50 pips. FGT, man. I think you have too many like ideas. You went from today looking for buys. Actually no, you came back to the buys. But then you said sideways range for 15. I think today and yesterday are gonna be a sideways. Because then if you think it's gonna be sideways, right? Would it be the best for you to trade it? If you think it's gonna be sideways? There's like a minor zone right here at like 84, so let's see you get some higher lows there, right? Because if you continue to get higher lows like within this range here, above 94 to 810, you can start getting some ideas. I think it's gonna be closer to like 810, 813 for buy ideas for us though. I wouldn't really say 47.94 unless you come back down for like a steeper bottom wick at like 65 or something, and then above 94 would be very valid. But with how it's set up right now, I think above 13 would be a lot better. Between 94 and 13, anywhere there can still be a fake out, right? To go back into the ranges. What stopped you? Why didn't you enter? I think what kills you more is like not entering than taking a loss, because then it's hesitation, right? Start overthinking your trade ideas. You want to sell when in the range? In this range, there could be ideas for wick entry sells, yeah, but it comes down to how you pop up. So if we pop up with the same consistency as like this, then yeah, above like at 28. Earlier I think I had a 13 zone, but at 28, maybe we'll find a new zone the way up here. Maybe it could be within these areas at like 13, 17, 48, 17, 48, 13, around there. Could be wick entry sells, but you do want to see it like pop up consistently, because that'll be the first break outside the range here, and then you're getting on the wick entry sells to assume to anticipate the higher low before going up again. Or if you get runners, a fake out, right? If it just comes up and then fakes out back to the range. I gotta stop being lazy with drawing this. So basically, if you were to get constant pops up here, right? Constant pops in the 515 up, we can get wick entry sells because you're anticipating like price to make higher lows, right? And those higher lows could lead to continuations, or those higher lows can lead to fake outs, right? But I'm assuming that's going to be around 13 zones. Next major zone is 28. So if we start seeing that there's structure coming up, so what that means is that you start seeing like higher lows being printed here going up. If it's not too close to 28 zones, we can still get the wick entry buys, right? But or wick entry sells. But if it's like you come up here and then you print like, let's say a higher low and it doesn't tap 28, or you got some structure now, and then you come back up to rebreak, then GG's. You can't really take that 28 zone no more because now you have this structure here, right? So with that structure, there's a much higher chance that this move stays bullish, which means that higher chance to push through 28. So it's really like how it comes up, like towards that area. Like I think a lot of times that's what traders miss out on, like not paying attention to how it comes up. They just have a zone there and they blindly enter it without like paying attention to like how it's actually moving up, because sometimes you might be moving up like this is pretty clean, right? But what if you move up like this? Like see how slow this move down has been? Looking left there, right? This entire range here, very slow on the way down. So you can get a 1-2 pop correction of that move up to correct that, because that might have not been the more dominant move. So just like some small little like nuances that would really matter for the sells for us there. But that wouldn't be like a directional sell position or anything. I think directional sell positions would be below, like once you actually break out of this area, right? Below like 52, 46 down, these areas will be like continuous sells if you were to come back below there. I'm not trying to enter because of impulse. Impulse. Well, like if you're new, then you just continue taking your trades and then journal, right? Because like even if you take a loss, at least you get something good out of it. You get some information on whether that was a good play or not. But hesitation is going to kill. I answered that already, FGT. It's clean traffic, yes, but it comes down to, is this enough structure to go up, right? Like that's what I'm waiting for. So I don't know. I can't, like I'm waiting to see if you can actually like form structure up towards like 28. And then once you do, I'm assuming it's going to be more likely above like 13. But yeah, like above 4,800 up to 4,028 shows, like it visually shows clean traffic. Now it's just about, can you create structure? Because is this enough of a bottom wick to go up? There's a high chance that you can still get a double fake out today. This can still rip down after the top wick. Like you could literally come up like this today, right? Above the ranges. You gotta be aware of the other side too, right? Like you pop up above the ranges and then you start shifting back into the range. This could highly likely still be a thing today, right? So how do you avoid that thing? You wait for that thing to form. You wait for price to actually confirm, okay, cool. If it were to do this, okay, cool. Generic price action says that you should drive down, right? But let's say you create a higher low there. You start to re-break the previous high. Guess what you have now? Structure. This be a much more like probable thing to happen now, to play out. But that's what I'll be waiting for. It's just until that confirms. Like, is it clean traffic? Yes. But like, is it enough from what you have on, like with this move here? Is it enough? It could be, it could not. But I need something to confirm, right? If it's a 50-50, I need something to confirm to push it up to like a 70%, push up to the 80, right? So I need those higher lows and like everything else to align too. And that's gonna give you your confirmations. It's the small things, right? You want to really pay attention to that. What's up, XYZ? What is that? Is that oil? What is that? I don't know what that is. What's that? Silver? That's not silver, right? I have no idea. I only trade XAU. Oil? No, I don't trade oil. I want to see where it's at though. Oh wow. So it's just that move on Friday happened, right? That continuation down, and then you kind of just been hovering here since. Yeah, overall, like I think oil's still within these areas here. So I think what's next is liquidity. You kind of need to break above here. Like this is the higher time frame, so this isn't really about today, but like I think you need to break above or below these ranges now to get more volume, right? So you can end up just being stuck in this range for the next couple months. Who knows, right? This is the daily, so it's already spent 1 month within the ranges. So you can spend a long time in this range until you actually break below here first, because then that will give you two options: fake out to continue up, lower highs to continue down, right? But you'll be able to identify that once like you actually form. So ideas could be below, or even like break above for a fake out, or break above, hold to continue. But I think that's what's next on oil. So you might be spending a lot of time in this range, which I think is still pretty tradable, right? Because this range is pretty huge. I don't know how to measure pips on, or how to measure pips on oil, or what's the measure. I don't even know what the proper measure for oil is to trade it, but I think it's a decent enough of a range to trade on the higher time frame. So then you're just kind of like using that, understand that on a higher time frame it's in the range cycle. On like the 1-4, it's more so like kind of bearish coming down here. So then you can see like you're printing like lower highs, right? And like I guess slight lower highs here. But you can see like following this structure, it's still somewhat more bearish on the small time frame, right? Somewhat more bearish. If you follow it, if you trace it, right, you can see like the structure here, it's like lower highs. So this can just continue, right? You can even pop this out, measure the ranges. Like it's been roughly the same, like that distance right there in this range is like same thing as here. It's like roughly similar. So it hasn't done anything different, hasn't moved significantly different compared to what it's been doing for April, which means that you can assume that it's like not anytime soon you'll probably get like some type of liquidity or breakout, right? So you can just kind of follow the structure still on price. But yeah, it's not bad. This looks pretty good. 1 hour looks pretty good in structure. Small time frame gets a little freaky, but I think this is pretty decent in terms of structure. But yeah, higher time frame is within that range there, right? And then if you start breaking the previous highs, like above, like into this range, that's when you can probably get continuation. But I'll probably wait for like a higher low to form after that or something, because it can still be first breakout is a fake out. It can still lead to like this to continue bearish down, right? So you want to see if that were to break, you want to see that hold structure and then continue. So lots of ideas there. Same thing with gold. Gold just broke the highs again here. What are we gonna do now, gold? So tap 94 holding into this range here. Same thing, you could still be holding, this could still be a resistance here, right? You can still pop above, fake out, continue. Lots of ideas here today. It's looking like 10 though for sure. Yeah, 5 minutes for a 1 hour closure. 5 minutes 1 hour's gonna close bullish. Not bad. Not bad at all. A little bit of patience, then you'll be good. What's a double fake out? Double fake out is like just fake out on both sides. You might get it today. This is the range here. You can say this is a fake out here. If it were to break above, it's doing the same thing it did here. So if it were to break above, and then after breaking above, comes back into the range again, that's your double fake out. The next question is probably, how do you avoid it? How do you spot it? You don't need to spot it. You can just wait for it to form. So if it were to break above, we'll wait for it to form, right? But you don't gotta assume. In trading, you don't have to assume. So like if you think it's gonna be a double fake out, that's just like, because these plays that I'm naming now are just like things that price has printed in the past, right? So just different patterns that you would print based off of what you're currently printing. So look, this could be a double fake out, right? Not saying it is, it could be, but you're not sitting here now like, oh, how can I get in sells here, right? It's like wait for price to come up, right? Step one, and then after that, wait to see if you can hold support. If you hold support, then that's not gonna be double fake out. You come back down, close back below, you start breaking back above here, start creating like small time from structure. At that point, it's not double fake out. Your job now is to look for continuations up, right? But imagine if you were to just like assume, oh, it's gonna be a double fake out, and then you get in on it. Next thing you know, it's just like a small bottom wick, and then you continue to drive. GG's, right? So like if it's a double fake out, we'll see it. If it's a double fake out, we'll see it close above. We'll see it close back below. We're still not looking for positions within these ranges, right? We're gonna wait for price to break back below 47.65. And then if this were to happen, guess what? Why did you do all of this? Like look at all that volume you had today. You had one fake out here, you had another fake out there, close back into the ranges, so all the way down below 65. Below 65, you have continuation, right? And the only thing stopping you from taking the most probable play today is your patience, because you want to get in early, right? But if you just wait for these things to print, eventually they will print. Even if it's like 2-3 times a week, it's gonna print. Eventually, one of your plays will print, right? But like that's the thing. A lot of times when people are trading, they're asking like, oh, how can I get in part of this? Or how do I get in, how do I become part of this move up? It's like, you don't have to be part of those moves. Like you don't have to, you can just wait for price to actually print those moves and then get in afterwards. But I think a lot of times it's just because people want to get in early. Like they want like the prettier entry, or like an entry that can give them a much bigger destination. And that's what they prioritize over like higher probability setups. Right? Is a previous 30 lead? No, that's like this current 30 might be a lead if it flips bearish though. No, that's just a bearish candle, weak bearish candle here. So I wouldn't say it's a lead. Lead candle will have to be a bullish candle. Remember, no top wick bullish. So if it were to look like that, that's a lead candle. And this one right here isn't a lead too right now. If it closes bearish though, which looks like it didn't, this would now be a lead candle like that. Right? Is there anything on other time frames? 30, 15, no. So just, yeah, tap into 94, right? It doesn't need to break the highs for a double fake or anything, but this is still a lower high. So think about it now. Came up again towards the 4-hour flip. Remember the earlier we mentioned the 4-hour flip? If that were to flip, just be cautious. I know this isn't the 4-hour flip because that was the last candle, but same area. Be cautious at that area, right? Now you're shifting back below. So all that needs to happen now for us, if it's not a double fake out, because if it's the double fake out, you got a range up here, it's fine. We can just wait for more ranges below here. So wait for price to break below, hold, pull back, right to 65, hold, and then the re-break. So it could be below 49 or 45 for entries, right? If it were to be a double fake out, you can probably enter a little earlier. Like you can probably wait for like maybe ideas below like here, right? Because you're a range ahead. You have something here, so you're kind of just like moving the range down. So if it's here, let's say you get entries there, cool. That's how high below the yellow box entries. But let's say the lower highs are here, you're just moving the ranges down. So then below here, below this yellow box is more so your sells, right? You're shifting the range down off of structure, because that's what that is. You're still here. You are watching. You are watching me trade here still, man. What you mean? Watching me trade a $2,300 account. I have a question. Long before you learn how to read the chart structure and price action, what piece of advice can you give us to learn the same? It's just experience. It's just time. Like time, like experience, like really. Journal, experience, take losses, take wins, journal, experience, losses, wins. And then with time you experience things on your own. Like you learn about these concepts through your own like experience on the charts. You don't need to read it somewhere to learn it. You don't need to watch a video to learn it. Like over time you just knows patterns. Like you're looking at the charts for what they are over time. You're like, oh, this is a leg candle, because what the fuck even is a leg candle, right? Like I just named it a leg candle because that's what me and the chat named it. But like a leg candle could be in someone else's universe, like it could be the cabbage player or something, like some whatever it is, right? But it's that constant pattern that you're looking for. So over time you just collect patterns and collect ideas, and then you give them plays, and then you start taking those plays, you develop a win rate. Let's say it has a high win rate, you keep it. Let's say it has a lower win rate that you're not happy with, okay, cool, get rid of it. And then over time you just have like, you literally just have a playbook for yourself now, right? These are the plays that we take on a daily basis through the years. And then over time, as we take more trades, we'll see which ones are lacking. We'll get rid of them. We'll see which ones are more probable, right? We'll focus on those. But you can't do this without experience. You need to just sit and take your sweet time with it. And you get more advanced every year. But then that's what I don't get when people are like, yo, your strategy changed. It's like, dog, from what part changed though? All right? It's just evolution, right? That's all that really is. Some might say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But we're not fixing it. We're improving it, right? And that never ends because you never stop learning. Just takes time to learn though. You can't expect to like go in a simulation overnight and then learn overnight and then next day use that whatever you learn in sim towards the charts. Like you need to try it out first. Try it through different market cycles, different times of the year. Like you need to actually experience in order to know. Otherwise, it's kind of just, it's not enough sample sizing, right? Yeah, that's how we named it. It was like just LeBron candle. So leg candle, the candle. It's the candle. Le means LeBron or the. What is this? All right, man. Me teaching Iceman how to trade. But yeah, it's time, man. Like if you guys are not like where you want to be in trading yet, just continue trading. Like it's just experience. It's literally like it's like 5% trading, the rest is 95% experience. Like you gotta just be able to spend a couple hours in your day every day. Commit. If you don't got time to commit, maybe just spend 10 minutes every day, but some to be more some to keep up with the charts throughout the year. But how do you draw the ranges that you've shown on M15? M15, where I draw on the M15 right here. Why not we include the 2 bottom fake accounts in the range? Like, you mean draw it here instead? You could draw it there instead. It's still valid. You can read it like that too. I don't think there's any point though, like for me to draw it, because I'm not looking for buys within this range. It's like sometimes it's not that like you're like, some people might have different zones, right? But I draw my zones on the areas I'm focused on. So like if I draw it here, it's useless, because you can still break below here and drive through. This will still be a lower high, but I'm also not looking for buys here. If I was like looking for buys here, I'll draw it, right? Like, because then it's like, oh, you're faking back into this range here and you should fill it. But I don't think I was looking for that today, so I just left it blank as a whole entire range. And I'm hoping to see if you can get like some break outside this range. $69 likes. Thank you. Can we get 100? 100 likes? You take any sells today? No, we're just waiting still. I think I hope we're not sitting in this range now, because it slowed down for the last hour opening, so we'll see. Could be, I'm just waiting for price to break and give more moves there. How much was this range today? This was 280. Yeah, so nothing too crazy about this range, right? It's like you've just had the first part of the volume today. Hey, this 30 is pretty important right now too. You are holding some type of resistance here. So that's pretty important. If you can hold that, remember, this could still be a lower high, it could be a lower high, and these can still be lower highs. So if you start breaking back below 5.9, that gets very interesting. But that is something that's holding on the 30. There's also a wick fill too, right? So that can also fill the wick up. But here's the thing now. Imagine this. If it fills the wick up, right? Like generic price action should ideally fill the wick up, but let's say after it fills a wick, it flips bearish. What are you gonna have? You fill that wick up, you break the highs. That's that double fake out on the small time frame. So then that'll be cleared. And then ideas could be a lot sooner than below 5.9. It could be like maybe 71 could be ideas for sales. So yeah, that'll also be nice too. 150 pips though, so hopefully some volume or something. Why it seems SPR 500 and gold move same directions? I think it's because it's ranging. When it, like sometimes they don't actually correlate against each other. Like they move together until some like let's say FOMC comes next week. That comes out, they'll split usually. But yeah, sometimes they be moving together. But yeah, look, right, like there's not direction set on both pairs. How do you read whether it's overextended for entries? What does that mean? What's overextended? No, the rectangular range, which is shown. How many touches for us to consider a bottom of range? It's just one could be enough sometimes. It's just to like to present you a range, like to just present you the range, like show you that what range we're in. So I went left and looked at this right here, like that. I think this is your invisible candle. That might be a bit more complex, but below here I have 65. I have it solely based off of this going across. So I want to see if it can close below, pull back, hold to continue. I want to see that. I want to see structure. And then once you get structure below here, it'll confirm that you're breaking through here. And that's continuation below here for clean traffic. And that's also the daily. Remember the daily candle? That's also something else too. Use the higher time frame as well. Take advantage of that. You have a daily wick fill here. right? So if you were to re-break 65, what do you have next? The leg candle fill on the daily. And that's that range fill on the small time frame for you. That aligns with the higher time frame. What does overextended mean? Like, what does that mean though? Like it's overdrawn. Like it could be lower. Like what is that? I don't know. I've never heard of that. I don't think my head's that round pencil. I look like Johnny Dang. Chat, y'all know who Johnny Dang is? Influencer term that means absolutely nothing. You break out with huge volume candle. I'm sure like you break up a huge volume candle. So what does that mean though? Like, so what does overextension mean? Does it mean like when you break a high volume candle, it's like a red flag or something? Like, what's that supposed to mean though? Like, what's the like, what's that supposed to do? You used to have 3K views. How you feeling now at 200? I feel good because I started with 0. I started with 0 viewers when I first started. I had 8 viewers at one point for a couple months. So it feels good to keep going. Did he make change Travis? Yeah, Johnny Dang. Yeah, I think he made change for the whole Houston. Travis from Houston, no? Thank you, man. I think I'm more worried about like my trading sharpness than the views though, because if I worry about views, then how am I gonna be able to trade, right? So you're just focus on the trading, and then views will come. That's how I approach it. That's how I approached in the past too. The views just come with trading. We've only been back for like a month, right? So it takes time to build like a stream track record again. But once that's developed, GG's, right? You learn from your mistakes the first time, and then you just improve the second time. But you just rinse and repeat that cycle. It's just the part where like, are you gonna give up though, right? Are you gonna like stop doing what you're doing because you've had some setbacks? If I had that approach, I would have stopped trading after my first blown account, right? I would have never gone to like 8 years of trading. So you just gotta keep pushing it, and then y'all long life to live. All right, but you can't trade for viewers though, because if I was trading for viewers, man, like I think I'll try to sound like, or trade a little more like simple. Although our trading is pretty simple, but in terms of like, I'll try to like follow more of the algo, right? And how like more so influencers would trade and how they approach it, talk about the things that like sound more like okay to talk about, like positive RR, or like things that just sound a lot more like easy, right? But some days, like, you guys ask too, like, yo, Don, like, I don't get it today. And I tell you guys, like, yo, I don't get it too. I don't know what's going on today. Prices isn't printing anything that I wanted, right? But I'm not here trying to, like, put on, like, oh, I think it's gonna do this, do that. Like, some days, like, you wouldn't know, some days it don't. But that's me focused on trading, right? Some days the conditions give us the direct ideas. Some days it takes a bit longer to form. Some days they don't form at all. But I think that's also why we don't have a lot of trades nowadays too, because that took me a long time to adjust to. I remember before I used to try to get a trade every day for the stream, and it's like, it kind of, you eventually don't take the highest quality setups. You just kind of take whatever just to get a trade clip, right? So yeah, it's gonna take some time, but it's been a month for sure. This kind of shows that people are learning, going off, and taking their own trades from what you've taught them. Yeah, a lot of people here don't even trade like me. A lot of people here, some come for signals. Some come to learn. Some come to learn and copy. Some come to... Everyone comes with kind of different reasons, right? I really thought we were gonna get a move earlier today, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe 11. Maybe we were correct about 11. It's because you had that set of volume that came in at 8 and then 9. So I'm like, okay. But still no direction, no move. So we'll give it probably another 40 minutes. And then 11, we'll set like a session stop loss. And then we'll just go from there. If you guys are enjoying the stream, then hit the like button, sub to the channel. We're about to hit 125,000. We started off at 123,600, I think, when I first came back. So we gained quite a bit of substance. So let's keep it going. 125 and at 1K at a time. Is here for the vibes. Yeah, some are here for the vibes. $86 likes, chat. Let's get to 100. 14 more. Can we get it? W boss man. You don't use any indicators like basic ones like RSI? No, I don't, but I wouldn't consider them basic. I don't apply it. I like just looking at purely price action. I wouldn't say it's basic though. There's no such thing as basic, chat. When I say generic, I don't mean basic. I just mean like, you know, typically like this is what price would do. So if it doesn't do that, the other opposite thing that it does could be the actual move. Not basic though. Yeah, man, you can make a lot of money being doing the basic things in trading, right? Like support and resistance, ranges, market structure. I'm breaking for the month so far 247% this year. 247% for the year, man. All right. Good shit, man. You are on a different level. You must be Pluto. Man. Damn. Now, Pencil not gonna know who Don C is. Don C. Pencil knows Chase B though. Right? Chase B. Yeah, Don C. Don C. Louis Vuitton Don. Don't believe I can send stats? No, man. You don't. I believe you, man. You don't gotta send stats to prove anything. Because it doesn't matter. You do it for yourself. You'll be happy. You don't gotta prove anything to nobody. Someone could say they made 1,000% today. I would probably believe them. So what are the 3 things you consider to read the chart as you don't use indicator? Candles, candle theory. Candles go deep. Yeah, you can find RSI using candles. Candles, market structure, support and resistance. That's it. That's really all I apply. But we take a deep dive into them. It's not as like market structure. It's like we if you like tune in, like we go pretty deep into those topics. Pause. Joker Don. Here, Pencil made this. He wanted to share. All right, man. Can we get a pop? Looks like we're starting to move again. Starting to break. So a little bit of structure starting to form within these areas here. So can you get a drop here that takes you down towards the bottom of the range here? Remember, the 30-minute time frame is nice. The only thing that's holding me back from the 30 is that it could still flip bullish. I can still fill that wick. But if now we can find a way to avoid that wick, how could we use, what could we do to avoid the idea that this 30-minute candle can still flip bullish, right? 2 things you want to consider is time. So it's now 10:24, so 30-minute likely is less to flip here because you have 6 minutes left. But if you get a pop, you get a lower high. That lower high should take you up towards the highs or the flip. But let's say it doesn't. Comes back down and re-breaks the lows. Structure, there's a high chance that you'll be able to fly through. Right through towards the bottom of the range. But that's how, like, that's what I'll utilize like market structure for in that case, right? Because that 30-minute candle, that 30-minute idea is still valid. It's like the yellow zone, you close below, you close holding it. So the last 1, 2, 3, 4 candles, you've all closed holding these zones here. You haven't closed below or above it, which means that you're still holding structure. Although this candle couldn't break the highs, it came close. It came to retest the highs up here, right? I'm not gonna sit here and say though, like, oh, this grabbed like buyers orders. People who bought buys will be cooked, but like this could be the high that flipped on the 4 that didn't drive, right? Comes back below these ranges, creates structure. Eventually, you can get your ideas, right? So if it's not If you can't get them here, it's fine, because below 65, below 56, or all the way down towards the daily leg candle, this is your daily leg candle right here, down towards 35, 29. Right, so you got ranges. It's just a matter of this lining up. Once this lines up, GG's. Your day is like right, basically right there. And then you just gotta be aware of like 65, right? So that's the only thing really. 65, once that's cleared, structure below there, you'll be set. You will be set. How far are you away here? 120 pips. So that's not too bad. That could be a minute candle with the volume. Yeah, the playbook is free, man. Check that out, because that's literally how I trade. That's how I approach it. So all these, like, everything that I mentioned here is it's just really just like market cycles, which is just could be seen as market structure as well, right? Drive, range, liquidity, it's all market structure. Like some people know market structure, but they don't know market cycles. They don't know drive, they don't know range, they don't know liquidity, right? So you take a deep dive into those things, and then just candles, and that's it. The rest is just other nuances. But candles, that, and then is there support resistance here? Marking key levels, yeah. And that's it. That's all that we really do. Minding your ranges, your zones. How come a simple close below range or above range is no longer good enough? It is good enough, just not this range. Because you're in a range overall, and there's zones on the way down, right? Like if you were to wait for like a clean breakout, like where would the range be? Like you look at this entire move here, where would you put? You'll probably put like below here, and then above here. Right above this area. So this is the range. You want to look for a breakout. The thing is, you're not breaking out of that right now, so you're trading within the ranges still. If you want to wait for a breakout, you can wait for one below here and above here, right? But we're looking for a way to get down here, because it looks like, well, right now we're not below 40 yet, right? So it's just a matter of the range. Like what range are we in? What range are we looking at? But those breakouts are still valid. $47.65 seller buy zone. Man, you are asking a lot from me right now. 65. I have nothing there, man. I'm waiting for it to completely break below there and find out. I don't know. I don't know until price is there. Because, and then when price gets there, I gotta wait for structure. So I don't know. 65 could still break. Like you can still get this, a break below and fake up back into the range. Right, so those little nuances is what's gonna tell you whether it's gonna break or hold or all of that, right? The structure, the way it comes down. So don't let that go over your head. All right, let's see. Can we get a pop here? It just requires like a minute candle, to be honest. With the volume that we have, like 1 2 minute candles could correct this entire move. Because you can see it's starting to glitch a little bit here. It's just about direction, right? Is it going to break the lows here? Or is it going to flip on the 30 still? This 30 close weak bearish as well, holding the ranges. Spreads are pretty tight right now too. So there should be another set of volume coming in right now. Looking at price. Yeah, man, just feel free to ask. No problemo. Just yeah, you're good, man. You're respectful, I respectful. You come in here with some weird energy, then that's when things get weird. Come back at you with the weird energy, but you've been good, man. You're good. Feel free to ask all you want. Here we go. Whoa, can we get a glitch all the way through? Is this a leg count anywhere? Did I miss something? 30, no. 15, no. 5, no. Minutes. No leg counts, but yeah, let's see. Can it close below and hold? All right. So pretty volatile candle, 77 pip 5-minute candle so far. This minute candle was 45. So can we get another pop here? That breaks you below 5.9. All right, starting to break below now. So look, all we really need to wait for now is a break, and then I'm assuming you'll get a pop, right? When you break, you usually get a pop. It could be 5.4, it could be 5.7, could be anywhere for the first pop, but then you want to see that pullback and then the re-break out of lows, right? But I would prefer if you can just break this low first, right? So that's not the breakout low yet. Nothing has happened yet, right? You had a little bit of volume that came in here. Again, this could still, if it doesn't break that low, this can still come all the way back up to the top of the range, right? That is still a possibility. But here's the thing though, if it does, now look at the information you have now. If that does come back up, it's like, why would you come down to re-break or near the lows again if it's not going to drive through? If you come back up above the ranges here, ideas could be a lot quicker than waiting for above 13. You can look for ideas above 95, 94, 801, right? Because you came down 3 times today. 1, 2, 3, and you didn't drive, right? You didn't drive. Why not? It was bearish. Well, very weak move down yesterday, but or during Asian or whatever time frame that is. You had a range. Could still be correction, right? So be open to that idea. But you do want to see this break the lows here for the continuation of sales. That's going to be very important. But you'll be able to identify if it's going to be like a fake out. You'll be able to identify if this is going to come back above 95, right? Because you're just waiting. As long as you're not trading this range here, it should be pretty straightforward today once you break out. Okay, let's put some zones here so that we can take advantage of. So 5-3 is next. If you get the sell ideas here, let's start looking at the stops and stuff, because it looks like anything in the middle. Yeah, I think probably like around like 47, 46, 46 or 49, 46 would be the stops if you get continuations below. So it'd be like roughly 1900. So with 1900, I'm going to have to use a 0.04 would be good. 0.04 a lot if we get the ideas here. I think stops are 1900 pips there. And then management would be more so above like 28 or maybe even like 62 above that range. And targets are going to be like right here for the leg candle fill at like 47.40, 47.29. So use that ready, right? Because it's about to break the lows, and then all we got to wait for that is just the break and the re-break of the lows, and then that's your continuation. BE zones and all of that, I have like, could be something here. I'm just gonna mark up like minor support and resistance zones on the way down, because I like to take advantage of those areas. So just in case, we'll just mark a bunch off. Yeah, it should be good. So like next up is 5-7 zones, and then you got 5-5, 5-3, and then 4-3, right? So let's say we get sells. Let's say this thing continues to break the lows, right? After breaking the lows, it decides to pull back. You have a low like this, and then it comes back down to re-break. That's our entry. First zone BE is 5-5, so that's 20% profit. Next zone trail stops is 5-3. And then next zone after that is, I think that's when things get a bit more clean below 5-3. So then TP is like roughly down below there. Let's see, is there anything else there? You can always be more aggressive. If you want to be more aggressive, you can add more zones. Maybe we'll add one more zone here. And we'll just trail, right? But these things you want to have before you get in, because once you get in, it's like no hesitation. You know at what point you're break even. You know at what point you trail stop loss. At what point you're trailing again and trailing again and all of that. But you don't want to get in and then just like sit and think about, oh, what should I use to move stocks to BE here? Or should I even move stocks to BE? This looks like a good trade. Because then now that's just like a lot of emotional thinking. So let price take the wheel once you enter. All right. But yeah, let this break the lows first. So I'm assuming 5-7 will be the rejection zone, and then below 5-7 will be the ideas probably. Can they glitch? One more push. Almost broke the lows. Close. 85 pips. All right, there's the break. So can you get a pop down towards 5-7? All right, cool. Can you pull back now? Get ready here too, chat. Pull back, and then once you pull back, you have a re-break. Pull back. Okay, cool. So the re-break of this low will be in. Okay, so obviously you couldn't get in on like 5-7. We wanted that first thing to break, but the re-break of this low, and then we'll just have like BE zones on the way down towards here and trail stop zones on the way down towards here, right? Because you got range on the daily all the way to the leg candle fill. But let this re-break the lows here, and then we'll be entering. If it's slow on the way up and it's slow on the way down, it won't be this re-break where I wait for price to re-break again. The second re-break. So let's see, is this gonna be one fluid motion down here, or are we gonna flip bullish, right? There's a reason also why we didn't want to enter on the first break, because again, this can still flip bullish on back on the 1, right? So still good here. Still good here. But remember, if the 1 hour flips bullish, chat, if you start making your way back above the range, back above, we might be able to move it up too. Like instead of looking for buys above like 47.94, we can look for buys above here, above like 82 instead. Because what's the reason? Look, this is the 4th time that you're breaking your lows and you're not driving. Like you could, this is the first break, so I would consider it driving. Driving will be like if you get continuation, right? But now if this starts to like start coming back within the ranges like this, right? Or not even like, let's say 1 candle like this, above that yellow zone could be buys. Above there, buys up towards 94. And then this is just be liquidity, this move down. But that's what I mean by like, you'll be able to identify it, right? By waiting for those small nuances to play out. So could also be some more stuff here too. All right, early we had buy ideas above 94 or above 48.13, and then we had above 94, and then now we have above 82 because you kept making steeper lows. So let's see which one it is, right? This could still be lower highs, but this is a bit slow to kind of come up and a bit slow to come down. So I think what I'll do here is I'll probably wait for the second re-break if you were to re-break below 49. Worst case, if we can't get sells coming down towards here, we can always get them below 29. Or we can also get wick entry sells too, which is like when this becomes directional, like below 29, first initial pullback, wick entry sells to retest the lows or higher lows to come back up. But you look for the wick entry sell idea as the move for the pullback to continue up, or move for the lower highs to continue down, right? But that's usually when it's like a bit more directional. So let's get ready here. Get ready, be prepared. But this is like the best price has been today so far for us, right? 10.45. So 11 could be something. Oh yeah, the second re-break. So I was gonna say second re-break. Let's see, where is that gonna be? Yeah, daily leg candle was 39, so second re-break. I'm assuming next zone could be like a 47, right? So if you break this low, I'm assuming 47, and then a pullback again, and then a second re-break. So it's not gonna be like the first break here, just because of how long it took to kind of come back up. We get a pop, one more push, and then a pullback. All right, there's your pop, pullback, and re-break. Oh, couldn't get it. No. Let's see, because now you're approaching 43. I think that's the fill. Can we get a pullback towards here now? 47 in the re-break. So let price come to you, right? Like sometimes you might not be getting your exact like things that you want, but don't be chasing it. I want to see a 47 here. 47, and then the re-break below here, and then below there can be continuation. I think below 29 could also be wick entries too. So if you were to make your way down below like towards 29 zones, first initial pullback, that could be wick entry sells for continuations. We can probably remove these zones here though. They're not too important. These are just like minor zones in the way down. So those are like our management points set. 47's next. So let's see. If you don't get a 47, then I think wick entries would be next, okay? If you get a pop through here, this is only, I think, 100 pips to go. So just be prepared. $47 can also be the wick entry too. All right, there's your pop. Okay, so wait for the first initial reaction now. Looks like this is bearishly directional. First pullbacks here, and then wick entry sells if you can get any pullbacks here. I have a 38 zone here, so get ready for a 38. Could be a 38 zone here for us. If we can tap into 38, 75 pips on the push up. This is very nice here. So just be patient. You're almost there, okay? Don't lose patience because it didn't print what you wanted and you see the move coming down. You'll get plenty of more ideas today, especially since this only just started becoming, turning like bearish directionally. And then if it doesn't reject here, it's fine too. Next zone is going to be down here. At like 13, you have something. And then you have more down here at like 01, right? So I think at this point, I'm not looking for breakouts anymore. I'm probably going to look for wick entries. I only wanted the breakouts down to the leg candle. But that got filled, right? We couldn't get those small pullbacks. So now we're going to wait for just wick entry sells. Right? Next zone we have is going to be a 46. So, or I'm sorry, 38. 38, 39 here. And if it comes down towards 13, we'll wait for a pullback to 30. And then wick entry sells for direction. Right? Because look at this move down. No pullback so far. So eventually you will get that pullback. And before price reverses, it's going to range or do whatever. So if you're afraid of that, there needs to be some structure printed. So that's the idea behind the lower high wick entries. To print that lower high. All right, get ready here, guys. 38 could be something. Can we get a tap? One more pop. No pop-up towards 38 there. Where'd you come up towards? You came up towards 33. And then 38 is 40 pips above there. So a little bit of lower highs. Nothing too crazy though. I wonder if it's going to be a 44 then. So let's get ready. Wick entries could be like quick, right? I'm trying to tell you guys the zones prior hand, prior to the push. I think we still have a 38 here right now. If it comes down towards 13, then it's going to be a 47.30, right? So wick entries is like once you pull back up towards that area, that's the wick entry sells to retest the lows. And it will just continue that. This is very good though. Right? Very good today. Price. Lots of ideas here. Looks like you might get a pop here. Let's see. If you break the lows, I don't see why not. Should be like clean traffic up into that area. Is that another daily leg count too at 47.01? Holy. I think we can use for stops now since this is a bit more directional. Maybe we can even use this one down here. 49.04. I think 1800 pips still, so same lots probably 0.4, 0.04 on this account. I think we're gonna use a 44 here, guys. If it pulls back from here, 44. If it re-breaks the lows here and drives through, then it could be a 30 or 38 again. How much is this? Above is 89 pips. That could be within the minute candle here. Last 8 minutes of the 1 hour candle too, so you can start pulling back now ahead of the 1 hour close. For the next one to continue, I think this one is gonna close like heavy bearish, right? So if it pulls back now, leave a wick fill. Maybe you'll fill the wick before the 1. Can we get a pop? Get ready here. So 43 is what we have right now, not 38. It's gonna be 43.52. Yeah, maybe 40 actually. 39.56 here actually. Could be valid here too. One more pop. Get ready. One more pop gold. Don't flip bearish now. If it flips bearish now, that's your lower high, right? It's gonna be, you're gonna have to move that zone up higher because then you're gonna be creating structure up. So you don't want to see this like come down toward 30 here. You want to see this pop up. You want the first initial reaction, not the second, not the third. Close. If it comes that close and it pulls back and it doesn't come down towards 30, let's say it comes down towards like 33, then we'll move it up back towards 43, because you want the first initial reaction here. I think this is still okay for 39. $20 pips away. Let's see, is this the first retracement? All right. You ready? Almost tapping that 39 zone. Almost. All right. Did I enter? Yeah, I did. Wick entry sells there, chat. So go in there, wick entries. And then I think our BEs are gonna be like roughly down here. So actually no, BEs are gonna be right here. And then trail stops are gonna be right below. So BE at 36, trail stops maybe somewhere in between. And then we'll just continue trailing the way down, right? And I think TPs are gonna be like down here at like 30. TP will attempt at 30. So the re-break of this low again, if 36 is BE, if we can get that re-break. One hour closing in 5 minutes too, right? So you're gonna leave a wick fill here too if it's not before 11. It would be nice if we can get up before 11 and get a runner. Can we get a re-break? All right, BEs, tap the BE zone. Once this candle flips, we'll trail. If that can flip or we get BEs, then that's unfortunate. Yeah, so we just had a BE there. We couldn't do much about that. I had a BE zone, and the next one right below it was like our trail stops. I think we did peak quite a bit though. It was like 33 pips, 34 pips. But this minute count opened up and came up right away, right? But yeah, BE set was like basically just on this body candle right here. That's what I based it off of. Not bad. I mean, we'll wait for 11, see what's up next. See if we get another idea there. But yeah, no trails, close. I think we're maybe like, if that kind of were to flip, I would have trailed right away. I think we would have trailed from like BE to maybe like 29 in profit, 28 in profit, something like that. Okay, so we're gonna go journal that up, and then once we journal, we're gonna come back and see what's up next. Okay, I think you have a 1 hour closure next. No drawdown though, I think, on that wick entry. That was kind of like first initial reaction. 2026, what was that trade? 10.54, New York, gold. Buy stay, I think we're like more so bearish, right? Normals, sells. That was more so of like liquidity on the one wick entries. Would anyone get a trail stop loss there? I mean, yeah, you got 35, so that was some. TP level on the 1, or no, was it the 15? I think it might have been the 15 here. 15, that's large amount of resistance, BEs. Yes, minutes, 15 and 1. Just expected liquidity on the 1. And then I think that was 12 cents loss, right? 0.04 lot. Negative 0.12. Pips wise, negative 0.3. Drawdown 0. Max pips we got was 34. And then exit reasoning was just BE on the minute. And then TP's end result was BE, so 0.03. All right, look. So that journal, and then one more. And then just in time for 11, all right? So 11, same thing, could be continuations, I'm assuming. If it breaks below the ranges again, then we can just get our, what do you call it? Wick entry sales continuation. New York, gold, sells, liquidity, wick entries, 1 hour full. That was 0.3. All right, cool. Good. All right, chat. So see what happens now. Still like the day, like I guess just started for 11, right? So then now, like as you approach that daily leg candle fill, question becomes now like, are we gonna continue? Are we gonna fill the next one? Because you have another leg candle as well down below here. But you already filled this one. All right, let me just delete these zones here. Don't mind them. They're just like a bunch of minor zones on the way down. And then let's see if we can get continuations. We might not even get anything anymore, but I think we'll sit around for the opening and then see if there's continuation. I'm assuming if we get continuation, it'll be more so below down here. So next thing maybe is let this drive down towards these areas between like 47.12, 47.01, and then first initial reaction, same thing, wick entry sells to retest the lows. But I don't think I'm gonna be part of the breakouts though, like the re-breakout lows taking sells, because you already feel the daily leg candle. Any given point that could still react, right, on a higher time frame. But wick entry sells are doable, because if it's directional, wick entry sells are just always doable. Lower highs to come down, lower highs to come down. So I'd rather take those wick entries than the breakout lows here. But 39, where'd you tap here? 43. If we remove this, if you pull back to another idea too, because is if you were to pull back now to 47.62 without breaking out lows, right? That can also be something too. Wick entry sells. So just wick entry sell ideas is all I really have right now. Anyone get a trail stops there? Anyone get a trail stop set? Or trail stops in profit? BE. Yeah. If that minute candle would have flipped, woof. But it looks like it slowed down anyways. It looks like this wasn't even like the actual, like it was a small lower high here. I think you can get a steeper one maybe. Steeper lower high. So maybe you might get another idea. 61. Whoa, was that a leg candle? Oh no, that's from a different day. $47.62 is far. No, yeah, it is far. But if it pulls back that far, then I don't see why we can't get it. You know what I mean? If you pull back to 61, like there's no guarantee of it, but like if it does, right? Like what's the reason? And then you also want to pay attention to the way it comes up too. So like how strong these moves are on the way up, right? You also want to pay attention to that too. So if it's like one constant push up towards that 61 zone, there could be wick entry sells there. Because then I think this right here would just be a lower high still, right? Until maybe maybe a little lower here, maybe above 7.4. That's when things have to get a little crazy, because then that's the 1 hour flip area, right? If the 1 hour flips there back into the range, then this whole entire move down there was liquidity, and that is still a possibility, right? You can still flip and still make your way back up to the top of the range. What's up, Nectar? The 5 closed no top wick, did it? Oh yeah, earlier, right? We entered. Yeah. But I guess it's the BE didn't survive. The BE didn't survive for sure. After that though, I think next BE I had was maybe like down here at 47.33. But then I think this wick would have gotten you out anyways, unless you trailed it below. Yeah. No, this would have came down, pull back up again before coming down. So I think even that would have got you a BE if you gave it the second chance. Let's see. We'll have one more idea chat, and then yeah, I think that'll be the session. All right, so the only next thing is probably gonna be wick entries. I just gotta figure out where, based on where price goes here. Next zones are down here at 47, 46.99. Is there a point to re-enter? Yeah, but we gotta wait. It won't be the same idea. It'll be similar idea, wick entry sells, but not exact same price point, right? So we gotta wait for this to break the lows here and watch the drive down towards 02 and then pull back wick entry sells, or if it pulls back from here up towards 5.8, it could be wick entry sells right off the bat right there. I think that might give you a much better runner because this pullback here would be a lot wider. All right, this pullback here was only, I think, 150. If it pulls back from here, this would be like 300 pips, basically, 280. I'm trying to see if there's anything else towards 5.8, but it's looking like 5.8 is the actual zone. Yeah, 5.8, 5.860. What else? There's more stuff here, but I think due to like how much highs it's made, there's a high chance it can push past it. Like this is too close. 4 now is what we had earlier, I think. Yeah, I think 5.8 might be the zone for us here. I don't see anything else. We tap the body of the leg. Which one? On the 4? We did. Right here. Yeah, 47.21. Yeah, I think 20 should be pretty set. Should be pretty good. Or 5.7, 5.8. Here 6.1. Yeah, between like within that range there. So 180 pips to go. It's not that bad, not that far, but that's gonna be the 1 hour flip, right? And that's our 1 hour top wick too. That's gonna be printing. Go pull back right now. We'll see. Yeah, you missed it. You just missed it. No, we got BE, so we didn't really get a trade. Can we get a pop here? Let's see. Re-breaking the 1 hour highs. If it's one complete motion, that would be perfect. If it's one complete motion, that might be even an earlier entry. If it's like a one, like if it's like a decent pop, could be even 5.4. So just get ready. It doesn't have to be exactly there, but your idea is the first initial reaction, right? So just get ready here. I think when it comes to stop lot size, it's gonna be the same thing. Stops are the same thing as earlier. We have a better entry, so stops are a bit smaller by maybe 180 pips. We get a pop here. One more push here. And could be ready here. Like you need like a, and then BE zones are gonna be right here. Or trail stops, BEs and all that. No, you don't want to see higher lows. You want to see a pop up, right? You don't want to see higher lows now, because then that's your area, right? That's your higher low, and that could take you back down. So you want to be in before you get like any reactions. Get ready. Could be this push. Yeah, it's another short. It's a wick entry sell. Same idea at a higher time frame zone. So 5.6, 5.4, 5.7 in that area. Just waiting for this to like give you that one extra pop here without pulling back. Like you don't want to see this happen. There's no point. You're looking for it to be part of that higher low. So just pay attention to that and you'll be good. Looks like it's holding like pretty well. Could mean two things. Holding 4.6 to push up towards 6.1, or rejects here. And that's your push down. Okay, can we get a pop? Re-breaking again. You need some. You need some. You need pop at least 60. Oh. Pay attention to here too. Could be right here. 29 pips away from 554.22 if you get a constant pop here. I think BEs would be around 25 and then continue trailing. So not tapping the zones. Struggling still to push up here. Could this be a higher low? Nope, 5-minute opening. 5-minute close bullish above. Get ready. If you get a pop. 15 closure as well. 15 leg candle. If you can get this top wick on the 15, that'll be perfect. You break the high, one pop, and then you flip bearish. You just continue trailing all the way through. Could be. Could be a 5-7. Damn, why everybody's so quiet? Everyone just waiting, clenching their hands. We might not even get it here. This thing is like, could reject prior. It looks like you're coming down again, but you're not driving down. So we could be loading up for a big push up. So might even be actually 5-7 actually. 5-7 or 6-1, closer there than 5-4. Re-breaking the lows here. So could this be the push? $15 leg candle is very nice too. Right here. Yeah, that wick fill. So we can get on a wick entry, get a runner for the leg candle too. Right? I mean, we'll attempt it. I don't know if we'll get it, but we'll attempt a TP pretty steep. One more pot, 5-7. Can we get it? How far are we? 60 pips. Get ready. Oh, 5-1. A little more than that. 5-1 tapped. Struggling still. Should be able to push through. That's the 5th time you tapped into this range here and haven't driven. I'm just gonna mark up these zones just in case here. Don't mind them. We got a 5-7. Oh. All right, chat. 5-4. Wick entry sells right there. You got the pop. We are in wick entry sells. BE is gonna be, I think, right here at these zones I'll use, and then trail stops we'll use like maybe down here at like 48, right? So I think this will be, yeah, the re-break of this low will be like 29 pips in BE, and then the re-break will be trailing stops at 36, okay? And then we'll just continue to trail on the way down, all the way down towards, I think TP will set it at around like, where is it? Here, I think. Wait, where is the 5 leg candle fill? Yeah, like I'll place it like 35 areas, right? And you're kind of just looking for that first initial reaction. You got one here. You got a small pullback. You tap 5-7 now. So can you get a flip here on the 15 before the 15 closes in 10 minutes? Let me delete this. In my head, I'm like, we got 30 pips. I was looking at the balance. I'm like, $9. I don't calculate how much that was. But yeah. And then I think stops are, what was the difference between this one and this one earlier? This one is 150 pip difference. So 150 pip difference. I think same stops as earlier though. We'll use, I think we're using like, yeah, it's around 1900 still. 47, 49, 47. And then management will be like above like 94 or 28 above these ranges here. Right, but you're just kind of expecting a higher low here. So if you look at price, I know it's a little messy here, but if you look at this move, there's been barely a higher low, right? When you get a higher low, it usually be like something like that before continuing up. So that's what you're expecting. Higher lows to continue up, or could also be lower highs to continue down, right? Because this is like your very first pullback here still. So you don't have to be perfect on the wick entry as long as you have the same idea of backing it up, which is like that idea that you should be making a higher low. I will say though, just be a bit cautious at like 44 zones. I mean, at that point, we'll be trailing stops for sure in profit. But 44, I think if you can break 44, that's like the toughest area to break today, right? And then below there, you'll be clean. Clean. All right. 600 pip dump coming. Should I enter? It's up to you, man. I'm in the position. I'm only in because this is what I broke down, right? If you don't see the same vision or if you don't see the same idea, there's no point of entering. Only enter if like your setup aligns, right? But this is what we were waiting for after the first entry again. Same idea as earlier, different price point, a little more drawdown this time. But still no higher low on price action. Price action is missing the higher low. So we're expecting like this to kind of occur, right? All right, can we get a trail stops today too? So I'm gonna move stops to BE chat at 50, 47.50, and then when you re-break the previous low, I'm gonna trail my stop loss right away. And then I think after that is 49, 48, 46, 44, and then we'll just keep watching price on the way down. All right, can you get a push? Stronger than this, man. This is none. All right, so BEs, move stops to BE. Next breakout low is trail stops. One more push, gold. You can do it. You can do it. Don't stop here. You can do it. Oh my gosh. Can we get a pop? Lower highs, can we survive? Can you re-break the lows? Could get a runner here if you re-break the lows. Trail stops. Trail stops. Can we survive? Can we survive? Next zone, trail stops. Trail stops. Hold on. Hold on. All right. So we did 38 pips there. No, we did more than that. I think we did 40 something. 40.2. Not bad. What percent did we do there? 1608. 1608 we did. I think that's 0.77 chat. Am I tripping? Same as last trade. 16.08. 0.66%. Not bad. Let me just put this on today. It's what day is today? Tuesday? Tuesday is gonna be, so let's include that with the BE trade earlier. 1596 we did today. So 0.66%, 40 pips, 40.2 pips, 0.66% overall for the day. Same ideas twice today. We couldn't get the breakout, so we got the wick entries. A little bit of drawdown here. You tap 5.7 instead. But I think we entered early because when it started glitching up, I think I mentioned earlier, like if it starts glitching up, we can have an earlier entry. You don't gotta be perfect on the wick entries, right? But as long as you have the same idea, so like the overall idea isn't about getting a wick entry, it's about like price action. What does price action require to drive up? You know what I mean? So if you look at it from like here, it's like if you're coming up with no pullbacks, maybe one small one here, but one constant push up, you're expecting a higher low. And that higher low could be, who knows, higher low to drive up, or that could be to come back down to follow this move. Because this is still the overall first pullback of this move down. All right, see how big this move was? See the pullback? It's the first one. So there's a chance I can still flip opposite, go up. But if you get this now, and then you get another lower high, it's like it becomes more directional. I think below there was when I would start taking like breakouts instead of just like wick entries, right? But since we're in this stage of the market, this stage of a cycle, there's a high chance that this right here could still go the other way, right? So I would prefer to take wick entries in that scenario. Like it was bearish, but it wasn't too bearish. But I think below here, like I think below here gets freaky. Below like 46.81, it gets crazy below there. That's also a leg candle too. And maybe that's tomorrow or Asian or something. But I think that's it for the session, guys. I think we're just gonna go ahead and journal. Not bad. I will take it. 2 opportunities today, same idea, different price points. If you guys enjoyed that trade, man, hit the like button, sub to the channel. And here we are, man. 3 losses in the last 365 days. And we gotta keep going. Patience, right? No FOMO. There's nothing to FOMO about even, because look, you're still within the ranges, right? So it's nothing significant today, even though it looked like it was. You got a lot more this week, chat, so don't stress it, okay? You got no news for the week, but I think price looks like it's a lot better than the first 3 weeks of April so far. So yeah, what percent y'all get there? What percent everyone to make? Percentage. Don't give no pip count. Don't give no dollar amount. You need to learn good habits. $20.26. That was 11.19. So we took that like, oh shit. I typed in this in the chat by accident. We took that at like 11.19. So 20 minutes after we got the first idea. You did 2.6%, 5%, -10 on a $300 account. Negative 10. 2.1, 1%. Got kind of late a little bit. Thanks. Yeah, yo, there was a bit of drawdown too. So whoever got a better entry, congrats. Because there was, what do you call it? A little bit of drawdown. Maybe 37 pips. But look. This is what I mean now, right? Look, higher low. All right, unfortunately, we couldn't get in because we trailed. But higher low, that's form now, right? So don't look at like, don't try to like, when it comes to wick entries, you don't gotta be perfect. But the idea is what matters, as long as the idea is still valid. Bearish, normal, sells, liquidity on the 1, wick entries, 4-hour stops, 1-hour TP. Was it the 1-hour TP? I think it was a 15-minute body reaction TP. So 15. That's much more resistance on a minute. 15, 1 hour there. Same idea. Liquidity on the 1 was a win. 0.04. And then we made around 1608. And then pips wise, 40.2. Drawdown 37, I think it was. Max profits, we peaked at what before it came back? 50.04. Exit reasoning, trust stop loss hit. Minute, trust stop loss. 40.20. All right, how many pips are up for the month? I think we are up maybe 200. 11.19 New York gold sells, liquidity, wick entries on the 1 full. 4.20. 225. 225. Not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad. We hit 1,000 for the year too. 1,000 pips for the year. It's only April, so well ahead of last year already. Yeah, not bad, champ. Not bad, not bad. 225 for the year. What did we do last April? 125 last year. Oh yeah, we're ready to have last year. Last year we took 23 trades in April. We're at 8 for the month, and more pips though. Quality over quantity, right? What is TP again? I think it was the 15-minute body reaction. It might be tripping though, right? Was it? Let me see. My early we set to 47.33. Yeah, I think it was over here. Hey, if you're not gonna trail stops, at least move stops to BE. For anyone that's still in, if you're not gonna trail, move stops to BE at least, because the idea is the wick entry, not I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna see how I'm gonna go see the maximum pips I can grab. No, it's like first initial reaction of price action, right? And you already got your first initial reaction. So if you were to come up again, you re-break. It could still play out, but it's a different idea. At that point, it's like, what was even the point of the wick entry sell, right? You can just come back up and break and continue to make higher highs. So you don't want to be in past this area for this idea, for those that still holding. All right, yo. So I think that's it. Up 2.8.98. What's your funded at, Penzo? Did it come up again? Damn, you treat an FTMO. You just be treating FTMO like you don't give a fuck. And I just came down. Anything I'm missing out on? Yeah, you're missing on the stream tomorrow that will be live for. Chat, I appreciate you guys, man. W day. I will see you guys tomorrow morning, okay? 8:15 a.m. Eastern, sharp. Have a good day, everybody. If you guys enjoyed the stream, leave a like, sub to the channel. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace, peace. Wait, did I read it though? Yeah, I saw. Wait, you don't have a trade copier? Oh, you left it open with 2 trades. I see. Wow. Yeah, lucky. Pips are on your side today. All right, chat. Yeah, see ya tomorrow, 8:15 a.m. Eastern, okay? 8:15 a.m. Eastern, a.m. Eastern, so East time. Have a good day, everybody. Peace, peace.
No, I'm never gang banging in my blue chucks. Money calling, so I threw the deuce up. Yeah, they plotting on me, but they gotta do something. Told my dog to something just to shoot something. Left them niggas stressed out on the train tracks. Rather you than me, here come that payback. Got them looking for that paper that they can't tax. Yeah, yo, so clean, I told them call it Ajax. Hialeah celebrated when Fidel died. Patty LaBelle, who knew that we would sell pies? Standing on your own is when you realize. When all the lights go out, that's when you see the real guys. Back to the real niggas glowing in the dark. Never perfect, but you know a nigga hard. A rich nigga that'll pull him to the park. Get on one knee and tell the kids that they are stars. if your mama there. Real niggas deserve to live twice. Plastic fork and some fried rice.
Yeah, 2.2 for the rappy on the dial. Don't act like you're happy for me now. Don't act like you wasn't praying for catastrophic collapses. Catalog is immaculate, still running the game. Don't ask me about the practice. Ho, you go on vacation. Don't ask me about relaxing. Not sure if you know, but I'm actually Michael Jackson. The man I see in the mirror is actually going platinum. Unthinkable when I think of the way these niggas been acting. Yeah. I never did you nothing and you play like we family, huh? Next thing you wanna shoot me down, it can't be love. Not sure where you was trying to send it can't be up. That day you sounded like a bitch, you fancy, huh? Damn, how can I forgive like this? I gotta debt a lot of shit just to live like this. I had to fuck a lot of girls to get a kid like this. I had to get a lot of cribs to get a crib like this, nigga. That's why I'm moving all elusive. These boys on their last resort and it's giving us all inclusive. Been spazzing since CB was chunking up the deuces, nigga. Your shit was boo-boo. Excuses, nigga.
Man, speak the pussy niggas, I just call it like I see it, I ain't even looking, nigga. I just walk it like I speak it, I ain't speaking to them niggas, I ain't starving, I'm just greedy, all I eat is pussy niggas. Don't wanna see these pussy niggas, y'all can't see me pussy niggas. You keep talking like you eating, I'ma feed you bullets, nigga. I might even cook it, nigga. All my weed is cookies, nigga. Shove an 8-ball up a pussy like a fetus for me, nigga. I got bitches doing lines, I'm Adidas to them, nigga. I got sentenced to some time and it was easier than simple. I'm so difficult to fathom like a fever in the winter. I got women in the phantom with their cleavage out the window. Long hair, lot of tats, and I smell like the pack money trail right on track with that big body made back like it's a Lil Pontiac. All my chains are like snakes, that's some real diamond backs. Pull my hammer out of pussy, pull her nails on my back. I don't chill, I react. On the scale, my pockets fat into this well, you like an ant. I'm a dog, if you a dog, then pull your tail up out your ass. And on this codeine, I'm a turtle with a shell shock my ass. I'm the hottest on the cell block, I promise I can fly to check my mailbox. Invoices sounding like Jill Scott. Pill pop, house and hitting heels on the hilltop. Her ears pop, she lick my lollipop and my teardrops too.